When you are successful, they think you are successful because of the association, because you joined yourself to them. That is why you're doing better. So they will find every way, never for you to overtake them. They will always find a way to put you down, and that's what scorners do. I've been teaching on this subject, three personality degeneration in our children. There are three personalities that the Bible talks about from the book of Proverbs 1 and 22. And it says that how long shall the simple love simplicity, and the scorner loves scorning, and fools hate instruction. So we have my previous episode I spoke on the simple one. That the simple ones are naive. They are people who do not have enough information about things they do. So they can easily be taken astray they can easily fall prey to joining gangs and joining other things, which our children do, because our children are looking for leadership, and if you're not there to lead them, to give them information and to instruct them, and to discipline them, which is very important. I'm not talking about abuse, I'm talking about discipline, and to discipline them. If these things are not going on in their life, then they tend to be scorners. If you've not seen the previous one, you have to go listen to it or watch it to hear what a simple one is. But today, I want to, this episode, I'm talking about the scorner. It says, and I'm going to be reading a few things from my book, Child, Where Is My Honor? Child, Where Is My Honor? I'm a pastor, teacher. I do counseling, and also I'm an author. And scorners, in general, delight scorning. When I talk about scorning, I'm talking about they make mouth. They talk arrogantly. They mock at people. They deride and they love to scorn, call names and do stuff to people. And the people they normally prey on are the simple. That's why it's very important for us to educate and give our simple children information so they cannot be preyed on. A lot of people who have personality problems and always talk about, well, I don't make it, and it's because they're surrounded sometimes by scorners who are saying things in their head, or speaking things, or doing things which is overwhelming them. And so it makes them think, well, I don't measure up to my friends, and I'm not this and I'm not that. It's normally it's because there is a scorner. And if your child is a scorner, you cannot be prideful of that, because soon your child is going to turn into a fool. You know, everybody wants to raise a wise child. And that is what this society is lacking. But our society is full of fools. It's full of foolish people. And you can look all around, look at the highest seat of our nation, or other places, institutions. You can tell what is happening. There are a lot of scorners who are heading positions, and that's why we still at a standstill and things are not going. And my dream and my heart desire is for the young ones who are getting married and planning to have children to have on their minds that when we have children, we're not going to leave them to be simple or scornful or foolish, but we're going to raise wise children so that when they get into these positions, not doing big things, but when they get into these positions, they will change a lot of things. So the scorner in general delights in scorning, and that's who they are. If you want to know who a hypocrite is, look at one. Watch a scorner. They say one thing, they do another. They swear by their words 1 minute and they find a way to get out of it. See, they manufacture everything to favor them. And what they do is by doing that also, they try to attract people into their domain. And when you come into their domain, they prey on you. They blame things on others. And one good character of a scorner is Saul. King Saul in the Bible, he was a good man chosen by God to by the people, by God also, to be a king. But at some point, because he was power drunk, when it was even not time for him to do sacrifices, he was doing it. There was a time that the Lord gave him an instruction and said, hey, you have to go destroy the whole nation, the entire nation of the Amalekites. And it says that when you go, destroy them and destroy even their king, Agag. And everything, every person, every beast, everything that is in there. But when he went, he took his people, went, fought, and were coming. They brought back the fatlings, the sheep and the goats and all those things. And when Samuel heard the bleatings of the animals and asked, what have you done? He said, the people. And that's what they do. That's what scorners do. They always blame. And I see the first mark of sin is blame. And it happened in the garden. Part of the reason why Adam and Eve were banished from the garden was because Adam did not accept his fault. And sometimes that's what scorners do. Scorners blame people for things that happen in their circles. They tend to blame others. They put faults on others. They never acknowledge who you are. See, one of the things they do is that, look, when you are successful, they think you are successful because of the association. Because you joined yourself to them, that is why you're doing better. So they will find every way never for you to overtake them. They will always find a way to put you down. And that's what scorners do. In church, the scorner is the guy that sits in the back and playing games, and once in a while will lift up his head and smile and laugh and do. So he's the one that is always doing something in church and disturbing services. In school, they are the same. They never want their classmates to study. They manufacture paper airplanes and they shoot them around so that everybody will get their attention. They make loud noises and laugh loudly. They do things to obstruct others. See, they don't want you to get there because they don't want to get there, and they don't want you also to get there. They're the people who will not carry the load and will not want anybody to carry the load. And immediately you get there, you want to carry the load. They tell you, no, I'm in charge. I'm going to carry the load. But they never want to carry the load. They are people who mock at others. They are very destructive. They put others down. And everything is not about them, then it's also not about anyone. You cannot get any praise from them. It does not matter how long you work for them. You won't get any praise. At the end, you will go out with a hurt or a mark on your eye. They never give people credit for their achievement. They discredit people for everything because they're very good at calling people names. They call you names just to make you feel vulnerable, just to make you weak. They call you names just to let you know you don't amount to anything. You may be even brighter, smarter, better than them, but immediately you get into their circle, they begin to find names to put on you and things to put on you just for you not to become who you are. Scorners cannot reward good behavior. That's it. They cannot reward good behavior. They reward bad behavior. That's what they do. Do something evil and they stand by you to say, oh, what they did was patriotic. No, this is right. This is what everybody wanted to do. They may even say, look, it's because this happened, that is why they did this. They will find every excuse to justify the wrong that other people do. Why? Because they do a lot of wrongs. That's what they do. They do a lot of wrong. They lie and they do a lot of wrong. You see, they prey on the simple. So that if you're a simple person, they get you into their camp and they make sure that, no, your good behavior is not rewarded, but you are scorned and destroyed. If you're a parent and you allow your children to become scornful or progress from simple to become scornful, without correcting, without discipline, instructing them, then you have done them a lot of damage. It's like giving a son a gas tank and a mower. And for the first time, tell him, hey, this is a gas tank and this is a mower. Go mow it along. And they don't know how to start. They don't know how to do anything. But you see, you are expecting them to receive something. No, they can't fulfill it. They can't produce anything. And so we parents have to get involved. It's very important. If you are a parent, you have to get involved. How do you get involved? You have to start early. Start early. You have to start early. Start somewhere with a little, find information. Start now and begin to correct them, because it is very difficult when a child becomes scornful for you to get them back. I know a lot of parents, and I said in my previous episode, that a lot of parents want to be friends with their children, and that's right. It's good to be a friend to your child, but your child is not looking for a friend. A child is looking for a leader. That's what they are looking for. Why do children cry? Why do they do the things they do? Why do they have all those temper tantrums and all that? It's because they're looking for boundaries. They want you to show them where the boundary is. How do I stop at this? How do I get right with this? But if we are not engaged, you're a parent and you're not engaged in your children, if you're not there with them, helping them and showing them the way to go, and there is the way. It says, train a child the way to go. And so we parents have a responsibility to train our children the way they should go. You cannot leave them on the computer and leave them on iPad and leave them in the care of people without instruction and thinking that they will come out what you want them to be. No, it does not work like that. So we parents have to get involved so we can get our children to a good place. If your child degenerates into a scorner, you can't correct him anymore. You can't tell them anything and they will not listen to you. They become dangerous children. And that is why it is very important that we get into their space and help them to change. If you're a parent and you're having children, you have to understand that you need to be in their space and help them to form, help them to become what God intends for them to become. The scholars are not here to say, please show me something, or please teach me something, or give me direction, or please correct me. No. When you try to correct them, they hate you. The simple may take correction, but when it comes to a scholar, look, they will hate you for trying to just correct them. They like their ways. They like to live in whatever they do. They just hate for other people to just come into their space to destroy what it is. But if you're a parent, you have to forcefully be in their space to redirect them as to what to do. They live in the present. Their past does not matter. See, everything about them is now. They have that what I call selective memory. They always want to remember things that they choose to remember. Look, you may tell them, you remember this good thing. They say, no, I don't remember. They will always only remember the things they remember. Scholars are people who think everything evolves around them. If they are not around, then nobody can survive. They wake up thinking, I'm going to save the world today. I'm going to save the world and I'm going to do everything for the world to be saved. Forgetting about all the other people around them, forgetting about how things are done. They don't go by process. No, scholars don't like process. Scholars don't like anything done by the book. They do things by what they think it should be done. Look, if everybody has to give a speech and we have to use a format that is written, let a scholar stand by the podium. They will not use it. They will go off by what they think the people should hear and not what is right for the people to hear. And so they wake up forgetting what happened yesterday. Whatever they did wrong, they wake up forgetting about it. They don't even think it happened. They're looking at, hey, we're saving today, and if you're not part of us saving today, then you're not part of us. So when you teach the scholar, it is like pouring water on a rock. It does not go anywhere. And that is why we have to begin to help them when they are simple. When you find your child to be simple, you've got to be there. Because when you leave your children, they're going to be either simple, grow to become scorners, or become foolish. You're not going to get any wise child. So we have to really, really be in their space. They love to skip school. They love truancy. They love everything, and everything that is wrong is what they love. I don't know if you've seen this program on TV. It's called Beyond Scared Straight. See, if you have a scanner, that is where the scanner, that's a program you need to apply for your child to be in. Get them to that program, Beyond Scared Straight. It's shown on TV. Let them go to the prisons and experience what happens there. And it will teach them a lesson. Take them to the hospital. Let them sit close to the doors where by the ER to see what happens when people drink some of these things and get loaded on things and bust their heads, and it will change them. Or take them to the insane asylum. Let them go look at people who've been on other things and taking substances and things to see, okay, this is what can happen to me. And some of these things may correct them. So help your child to get out of simplicity and not get into being scornful. Because being scornful and getting to become foolish is very close. But you want to stop them at their simplicity, instruct them, teach them, nurture them, and discipline. Discipline is very important. Discipline them. That's giving them boundaries. When you can give them boundaries, your child will know, hey, I have to sit up and change from it. So don't allow the simple to grow to become scornful. Stop them. It's important. Stop them. Give them information so they don't graduate to become scornful children. So in my next episode, I'm going to be talking about the fool. Nobody is born a fool, but we have a society full of fools. And you don't want your child to become foolish because they depend on themselves. And so that's going to be my next episode. If you've not seen The Simple, you have to go watch The Simple to understand how The Simple can become a scorner. We don't want to raise foolish children. We want to raise wise children.